Do you think that medical marijuana is being well handled in California? What about the position of the federal government and the actions that it is taking? Has it preempted the field? Ms. Lacey, what do you think is going on there?
Well, I think that I'm glad that the federal government is back on the front line on this. The problem is with the dispensaries. Over-the-counter sales in California, as I understand the law, are illegal, and what's happening is these dispensaries are opening up, they are bringing crime into the neighborhoods, and they are misusing the Compassionate Use Act, which was designed to put marijuana in the hands of those who feel they medically need it. And it is good that the federal government is back in it. What I will tell you is that as the assistant DA, I was actually sent back to Washington, D.C. to ask the federal government to allow their investigators to get back involved. As we can see from LA City, they allowed a lot of medical dispensaries to open up, and it brought a lot of crime to the neighborhoods, and now they're in the position to have to reverse it. And so I think that it is being well handled, and I think we need to go further and continue to make sure that those who are operating dispensaries do so lawfully.
What about the people who say they need it for medical purposes and that they are not able to get it in many places, not necessarily in Los Angeles at the moment, although soon that will be the case, at all, unless they grow it themselves, which many of them say they can't do?
Well, I disagree. I think if you look at the law, it provides for cooperatives for them to grow it and get it that way. But I think the dispensaries that are open, for instance, near the Hollywood Bowl and on Melrose that have flashing neon signs, that's not the way the law was intended for it to be dispensed, certainly not to medical patients. And so I have, like I said, have been very instrumental in continuing to make sure that those dispensaries don't become a problem for law enforcement. I know with local law enforcement, there were issues that they face with those, and I know my opponent, I'm not sure what his position is, but the Weed Blog endorsed him in the primary, and I'm not sure what that's about. But I will tell you that I think that dispensaries, as we're starting to see, are causing more of a problem, and we need to figure out a better way to get it to the patients and not just have them opened up and have people driving through literally and getting marijuana for recreational purposes, unless that becomes the law.
What's your position, and what about that endorsement?
They must like me. I don't know them, but they must like me. They must think that I'm going to be a better DA than Ms. Lacey. So there you have it. I'll tell you what my position is on medical marijuana dispensaries. I've got absolutely no qualm with Proposition 215, the Compassionate Use Act. If somebody is in the privacy of their own home and they've got an illness, God forbid, leukemia or glaucoma or something that medical marijuana can alleviate some pain, why would I care? I couldn't care less. What I do care about, Warren, is the en masse proliferation of medical marijuana dispensaries that are for profit, that are profiteering off of the back of Prop 215. That cannot be tolerated. I think there were 250 dispensaries that were counted at one time on Ventura Boulevard in the Valley. They were proliferating faster than Starbucks, as the old adage was going. And that cannot simply be allowed.
You seem dubious, though, about the medical benefits.
I'm dubious about the medical benefits?
Medical benefits, yeah. You said you didn't care if somebody thought they were doing well. Do you think there's any genuine medical benefit?
Oh, of course. No, I wasn't being dubious at all. No. What I was saying is I don't care about, I'm not against somebody utilizing marijuana in the privacy of their own home for medical purposes. I think it does serve a purpose, and Prop 215 is the law. That's fine. It's absolutely fine. But what I want to be sure that the voters and the viewers and the audience members understand is that a medical marijuana dispensary that is acting for profit cannot be allowed to stand. It is not in keeping with Prop 215. It is not keeping with the law. These outlets are supposed to be cooperatives, not for-profit organizations. And I'll say one more thing. Statistically, the vast majority of medical marijuana dispensaries in the city of Los Angeles, the marijuana comes in the back door delivered at $2,500 a pound, and it's going out the front door sold at $11,000 a pound. These are enormously profitable organizations and dispensaries. They cannot be left to stand.
Should the district attorney be prosecuting somebody then instead of the federal government?
Absolutely. The answer is yes.
You agree?
I agree that the district attorney should be prosecuting cases where there is an over-the-counter sales. And once again, I think the difference is that Mr. Jackson says, well, if it's not for profit, it's okay. Our office, and it's my position, that those over-the-counter dispensaries are illegal and should not be operating.
You haven't prosecuted them, though, under the Props 215?
We have prosecuted a number of cases under the law, in violation of the law.